Episode 3, Talk of the O-Town. Jacob, how was the week?
It was a good week, good 2 weeks actually. Recapping the last 2 weeks because we didn't drop a podcast last week. But no, very good. Our momentum is continuing off of that post-COVID shutdown. Obviously when we reopened, we had a bunch of signups, but we're maintaining that momentum, which is really exciting. It's cool to see a lot of people coming in the gym and seeing some new faces around and whatnot. So really excited about that. First announcement I'd like to talk about, actually I'll have you talk about it because it's your baby, is our new website.
Yeah, Friday it finally got transferred over and the website launched. So if you looked up otowniron.com, our official site was the new one. I love it. Very easy to use.
Beautiful.
Great layout, color schemes, everything
Very
looks
clean.
very good.
Yeah, very well made.
Yeah, I'm very happy with how it turned out. And pretty much, there's nothing that you can't do that you could on the old site. We did add an online store. You can order any merch or any apparel on there. All our color options are on there. You can even pay on the site. That way we can just charge your card or however you want to do that. We did picture all the equipment, kind of like a virtual tour. If you're Googling O-Town, you don't even got to come in really to see what we offer. So you can still sign up on the site. And also at the bottom of every page, you can leave a suggestion or ask any questions for the gym. So
yeah, and just kind of feeding off that, we really appreciate all the feedback that we've gotten over the past couple weeks. We've gotten a lot of people, leaving reviews and whatnot. We do have that suggestion box at the bottom of our website for a reason. That is anonymous too. It's important to note that if you do have anything, even if it's just like, hey, we'd like to see this piece of equipment at the gym, or hey, we'd like to see this or that, or just something that you appreciate, whatever. We really appreciate any kind of feedback. So definitely, if you're not comfortable with approach us at the gym, please drop feedback in that box on the website. That's always very much appreciated. We take that very seriously. So that's what that's for. But the website looks beautiful. Dalton's being humble because he made it, but it's very, very clean. I love it. I think it really accurately depicts what we're doing at the gym right now. Whereas the last one was good. It was still a very nice website, but we've pivoted what we're doing at the gym quite a bit since that was made. So I'm really happy to have an updated one in place that should help get people more accurate understanding of what we're doing at the gym. So with that being said, I don't have much more announcements. Equipment, I do want to just mention equipment real quick. We're replacing the dumbbells this week. So we got the new parts coming in either today or tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So that stuff will be in. Then the day it comes in, I've got some friends that are helping me. We're going to go and we're just going to go to town on it and start replacing the parts and everything. So those will be fixed. Everything else has been ordered. Parts have been ordered. So just be patient with us as far as replacing all that stuff, because I know some people have been asking about that.
do we got a date on apparel by chance?
Don't have a date on apparel. I'm guessing it's going to be this week sometime, but
Okay.
I don't have an exact date. It usually just says around like 2.5 weeks when I put in the order. So It should be sometime this week. But whenever I get the email, I go right away and pick it up. So
sure.
Everyone will know when
Sounds good.
I
Yeah,
do.
definitely be all over social media once they're in.
Right.
Once you can come pick them up.
Right.
But yeah, as you guys can see, we have 4 guests with us today. We're going to be overviewing O-Town Fight Club. It's going to be our new MMA program that we're going to be launching pretty soon here. And I'll have Hamid go over what that program exactly will entail.
Sure. So we're going to have 4 different arts as part of the program. The first thing we're going to do is kind of go over these different arts. There's judo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and Muay Thai kickboxing. I'm going to hand it over to Rami, and he can talk a little bit about the judo here.
Yes, I am going to be teaching the judo and jiu-jitsu program. My name's Ramin. I've been doing judo for 20 plus years. And for those of you who do not know what judo is, it is focused on throwing your opponent with the least amount of energy that you need to spend and working off their momentum. There's a lot of submissions involved in judo. There's ground movements, but they're not as in-depth in detail as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I'll pass it off to Jaime. He can kind of go in the details about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody come in.
So on the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu side, just like Ramin said, we're using our opponent's force against them. So one of the things that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu focuses on is fighting off of your back, using a defensive position offensively. So if somebody bigger or stronger than you takes you down and puts you on your back, you can still continue fighting, defend yourself, submit them, and try to get out. The main focus of jiu-jitsu is the submission aspect and the groundwork, as opposed to judo that has more throws. Using your opponent's force to throw them is the primary focus of judo. Using your opponent's force to submit them is the primary focus of jiu-jitsu. And I'm going to hand it off to Hussam to talk about wrestling.
Right, all right. So my name's Hussam. I have 9 years of experience in wrestling. I'm a wrestler at UW Oshkosh. Still got 1 more year here. And so wrestling is essentially pretty similar to jiu-jitsu and judo, but they all have their differences in each aspect. But wrestling is more being able to take down your opponent at will and controlling him from the top position, and just being able to control your opponent. And there's pinning combinations, but the biggest aspect is, takedowns. There's throws just like judo, and the control. Those are the biggest 2 aspects. We also have a kickboxing and Muay Thai program, and I'll have Brandon talk about that.
My name is Brennan. I'll be instructing the Muay Thai kickboxing program, and I've been doing it for close to 7 years. I had an injury layoff, so I'd take that year away. But I'd say the main focus for Muay Thai is, to me, it's an opinion thing. So I'd fight at range, keeping my opponent away from me, knowing when to strike my opponent with the 8 limbs. So fist, elbow, knee, and shin. The difference between Muay Thai and kickboxing isn't very big. I would say the biggest difference between them is the way they're instructed and taught. Muay Thai is very like traditional, and they this is a tough one. How would you, Hamid, think?
I think Muay Thai has a lot more.
They're very similar.
Yeah, Muay Thai has a lot more discipline involved in it. Kickboxing, we have cardio kickboxing available everywhere.
Yeah.
Whereas Muay Thai is a little bit different in the sense that it is a martial art. It's not as much of a cardio art, although a lot of people do use it for cardio.
Mm-hmm.
And Muay Thai does use a lot more knees and elbows than traditional kickboxing.
Traditional, yeah.
That's the main difference.
That's about all for striking. It can be different though. So like for a fighter like me, I like to stay range, but then you have other fighters who like to attack their opponent, and they go in a clinch.
That's the other thing. Muay Thai does have the clinch, whereas traditional kickboxing doesn't have as much of a clinch. And you can throw in Muay Thai actually.
Yep, trips, sweeps.
So the main focus of these programs is going to be to have a complete MMA program for anybody that wants to learn MMA, do it for cardio, do it for the camaraderie, just the friendship aspect. I mean, no matter what you're looking to do, it can help you meet your fitness goals. If you're just looking to get out of the house and get a little bit of exercise, or if you're looking to make some new friends, it's a great place to meet people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the things so for everybody that hasn't been to the gym over the last couple of weeks, these guys have been doing some open mats a few times a week where they're kind of just getting the hang of things, starting to, practice. And so that when we do get this program up and running, you guys are, ready to hit the ground running. But that camaraderie aspect of it, so positive. I mean, we kind of have talked about this before, but the energy that you guys have brought to the gym, just with the 4 of you, and like 1 or 2 other guys doing the open mats, is so like positive and uplifting. Granted, you're beating the heck out of each other, but unless you get down, you get in the middle, and you as champions, that you say, when you put your hands in the middle.
Yeah. So for us, the reason we say champions, it actually means not necessarily being a champion on the mat, but being a champion in life, doing the right thing when no one's watching, supporting each other. That's what a champion is to us.
Right, and so we're all teammates too, so we are beating the hell out of each other, but we're also doing it in a controlled manner. So We're not all trying to hurt each other. We're just trying to get each other better every day.
Right.
At each art.
And the new person that comes in will not be doing that. The average person that comes in, you're going to be learning the techniques, and it'll be a long time before you actually step on the mat and spar. But these guys, they're very experienced. That's why they're able to do that.
That's important to note. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, if we're going to talk about experience, what would you say, what would be the most, or what martial art would you say would be the best or most interesting if you're just looking to, this is your first time ever on the mat of any sort, any martial art whatsoever? What what would you recommend for anyone that's just looking to get into this and this would be their first time?
I think everybody has a different comfort level. If you're not comfortable touching somebody, then maybe you go into striking, go into kickboxing. If you're comfortable grappling with someone, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, or judo would be a good fit. If you don't want to wear a gi or a uniform, you can do everything here without a gi. So, we're geared to kind of fit whatever comfort level each person has. And that's why each of these guys brings a valuable asset to the group. Each of them has a unique art that they are experts in. So when they come and they're teaching you that art, they're going to make you feel comfortable. They understand you're brand new. We know you don't know anything a lot of times when you step on the mat. Or maybe you know wrestling, but you don't know jiu-jitsu. Or you know a little bit of kickboxing, but you don't know judo. And I think that's important.
I think for comfort level, after the first 2 weeks to a month, it's going to be comfortable. It's just breaking the ice and getting in there and trying the programs. It is a very comfortable thing to do. So a lot of people think MMA or jiu-jitsu or judo or Muay Thai, kickboxing, these things are very physical, but there's a flow to it, and it is pretty calming once you figure out what the flow is and loosen up a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah, I would say another thing, like people hear about MMA, jiu-jitsu. It's a competitive sport, but it's not just a competitive sport. Like you can do this as a lifestyle, like to just have the skill. Like this is something you learn and never lose. So like you could join striking and not compete ever, but you would always know how to strike, defend yourself, or just do the workout. It doesn't have to be competitive.
Right, and if you hate running like me, this is a great, cardio. So it gets you in great shape for sure, and I find it a lot more effective than running. So if that's something too.
I don't want to speak for all the guys here, these four, but most of us don't like to run. Running on a treadmill is just so darn boring.
Yeah, I definitely can attest to that. I wrestled in high school, and you think you're in shape throughout the summer from running or like whatever other sports you played, but then you wrestled, and there's definitely a difference between being in like runner shape and being in MMA shape.
Yeah, big time.
So, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's important to note too, that, as a newcomer, someone that's a beginner, this can be kind of an intimidating thing to just get into if you've never done it before. But, even though we've got each of you teaching, you specify like you're have your own classes, they're all helping each other as well. So they do help each other coach the other classes and whatnot. So, we've got that support for someone that is new that might need a little bit more one-on-one attention. You're not going to be just, swept aside by people that might be more experienced, if that makes sense.
And right now, anybody that, once we do start rolling it out, anybody that does sign up, you'll get to meet one of these coaches for a one-on-one. So you can kind of break the ice that way too, make it a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, so now that we kind of got the information about what the classes are, we're kind of wrapping it up here. Would you want to wrap it up just going around and maybe a little bit of why you're the coach of that martial art, maybe some credentials, anything like that? And yeah, just kind of, why would someone join your class type of deal?
Well, I'm actually, helping these guys launch the program. They're actually the coaches, so I'll let them talk about it.
Yeah, I've been doing judo for, I think 20 years now. I enjoy doing it. There are a lot of aspects to judo that help me in my life. Also, teaching people helps me as well. And I'll also be teaching the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu program. I've been doing that for 5 years now, seriously. I have done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the past and didn't take it as serious, but I think 5 years seriously now. And the reason I'm teaching these things is also to teach myself. You learn so much about these arts just by teaching. I mean, there's stuff that will break down in pieces when you're teaching it to someone.
He's also a U.S. team member, or a former U.S. team member.
Yeah, I was on the U.S. team roster for judo in 2017 and 2018, and that was in actually the super heavyweight, and I'm not super heavyweight anymore. As you can tell. So grappling has helped me lose a ton of weight.
100 pounds.
Yeah, and also dieting though. So, but it is a high intensity sport where you can shed the pounds. So, and I think that about wraps it up. I am a black belt in judo, if I didn't mention that as well. So, but I'll
Yeah.
pass it off to Husam.
Right. So like I said, this would be my 9th year in wrestling. I'm a UW Oshkosh wrestler, varsity starter, and I'm also a Greco state finalist and a junior national team Fargo team member. I'd say that's about it in credentials wise, but yeah, I've all this past 9 years just nonstop of wrestling, so I'd say I'm pretty well experienced in it. So that's about it. Brendan.
So, for me, the reason why I kind of got into what I do is the biggest thing about striking or doing MMA is that it humbled me. I found that I used to be kind of a hothead, and this sport took me a whole new direction, and it showed me like so many ways to look at life. Even my opponents that I've fought, like we talk to this day, like we're like really good friends. I make music actually with my last fight, my opponent. I make music with him now, which is, yeah, I don't know. You just don't really see that kind of stuff in all these team sports or really any sport. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it.
By the way,
I
those
just-
two had fight of the night that night. I think it's
Yeah,
important to mention.
My
Where
first,
where was that fight at?
It was in La Crosse. Well, on Alaska. It's like 10 minutes outside of La Crosse, so local. My first fight was up in Ashland, and I ended up winning first round knockout from that.
Tell them what the knockout was.
It was a body kick.
It was a body kick. The guy was still fully conscious, but he went down and didn't come back up because Brennan hit him in the gut so hard with his kick.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
I don't want to get kicked by Brennan.
So how long have you been doing Muay Thai kickboxing?
I'd say Muay Thai and kickboxing actually. I want to say 4 years.
4 years. Okay.
I started off as a boxer, and then that was when I moved here from Texas.
Okay.
I started off as a boxer, and they destroyed the gym here and turned it into a bowling alley. It was Golden Gloves. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it was so stupid. And so I kind of quit all individual sports until late middle school. I found wrestling, and that's really what guided me into finding an MMA gym, because I didn't want to wrestle my whole life. I mean, I was good at it, but I just saw, I don't know, almost a career in it, I guess. So I found the MMA gym, and that really started sharpening my like tool shed. I found striking and fell in love with it. I love the ground game still, but I don't know, striking, there's just something about it. Being able to know your reach, and if you got a guy in front of you, you can hit him anywhere like that you're comfortable with, and you just know. Like if we're like, I don't know, standing in front of each other, I could be over here, and I just know right now I can touch you, but you can't touch me. So like, I'm a counter striker also, I should probably mention. That's the way I'm going to be teaching my class, is with counters and knowing your reach and range versus being in a clinch and kind of like making the fight go to the ground.
Sure.
Versus, so.
Do we got a expected date, time frame when this is coming?
Oh, I was just going to say, if you guys have questions about any of these arts, you can always message O-Town and these guys will answer your questions. But the start date, we're just kind of finalizing everything, but we're going to be teaching classes Tuesdays and Thursday nights. Tentatively 6 to 9. Those times may change, but right, 6 to 9.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then we'll have open mats Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at noon.
And then after the classes, we do have an hour of
later.
open mats just for the people that are enrolled in the class.
Yeah. So if you're enrolled in class after the 6 to 9, you want to stick around, we'll have open mats as well. Yes.
And to my understanding, we're not releasing the packages quite yet. We're still kind of, all right. So we will get that information to everybody that's interested. All right, what's cost going to be? What's the equipment to get started. We'll release all that information. Right now, Hamid and I are just, some of that equipment needs to be ordered, and it takes some time to get that stuff in. So that's really what we're working on. Besides that, most of the other details are pretty much ironed out, but it's just the dotting our I's and crossing our T's. So, yeah. But
And we'll probably have some sort of pre-sign-up program for you guys if you're interested. We'll get you on the list, and then that way when we do start, we'll have all your gear ready for you.
Right, and the open mat, it's not just going to be like a free-for-all. It'll be like instructional kind of open mat. So like we'll still be there to guide you and show you other stuff. If you got any questions, if you've seen a move online that you want to try or ask us about, we'll be there to help you out.
Yeah, the key points of open mat, especially for a beginner, are to learn. You want to learn during open mat and practice what you learned previously and do your reps. You know, it's not a sparring session when you begin. It's more a practice session.
Yeah, and on the social media end, we'll definitely be keeping you up to date. Maybe this week we'll work on putting together some sort of newsletter, some sort of email list that as we get, info for this, we can email it and just have a list of, generate a list of people that are interested in it from just, the information that we have out as of now. Jacob, do you got anything else for the week?
I don't think so. I think we pretty much touched on everything.
Yeah, I think we're good. We went over, what all the arts were. You guys explained why you're the coach. You guys got anything else to add?
Yeah, and basically one more thing I do want to know. This is just kind of an overview of the program. We just wanted to introduce this to everyone. People have been asking. They see the mats there. So we just wanted to let you know what the programs are. Obviously we don't have a lot of details right now about the pricing and all that stuff. We'll get that to you when we're ready to. But we just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention, let you know what we're working on, just meet the trainers. But we will give you some more details on these guys, and we'll be constantly updating you on the program as we move forward with it.
Right. Everyone's welcome. Doesn't matter if you have experience or not. If you have experience, you're welcome too. So everyone's welcome. Just come through.
Well
Said.
All right, episode 3. See you guys next week.